Beyoncé's Renaissance Trilogy project has been one of the most innovative and creative things to ever come out of the music industry. Since the beginning of this journey, Beyoncé has been playing a big mystery game of Clue with her fans. As I sat with Beyoncé's projects and put together clues, I realized very early on that this project was much deeper than meets the eye. I couldn't help but to indulge and fully immerse myself in this trilogy project and figure out all of the small and big meanings behind the symbols, behind the clues, behind the music, the lyrics, and the visuals. And from that curiosity, I created the B Theory. Welcome to episode 3. Hi guys, I wasn't planning on making this video, but I decided to switch things up a little bit from what I was originally planning to do to show you guys some extra things that I found and give you something a little bit alternate to my twin/duality theory from episode 2. In episode 2, I talked about how I believed that the duality of Cowboy Carter and Black Betty could be more so symbolic, and I talked about them being two sides of the same coin, as in one of them being the alter ego of the other. So one person, but being alter egoed from the other person. In this version of the theory, I want to explore it in a more literal sense that Cowboy Carter and Black Betty that are actually twins. Now, I don't want to repeat all the same things I said in episode 2, so make sure you go watch episode 2 so you can see how I broke down the idea of Beyoncé using the zodiac sign Gemini, her own kids being twins, and them being Geminis, and how I think that comes into play. Now, after I made that video, it started to dawn on me that we've seen the usage of twins throughout this trilogy way more than I realized. For example, in the Levi's commercial, there are a pair of twin girls sitting at the back of the laundromat who have the same shade of red hair that we've seen Beyoncé use in the Cowboy Carter tour on the dancers and in the pictures on her CR fashion book photos. What I also find interesting is that there are other people in the laundromat that see Beyoncé and notice her, but Beyoncé only acknowledges the twins, passing the bucket with her foot over to them. In addition to that, before Cowboy Carter dropped, Beyoncé dressed her and the family up as the Proud Family for Halloween. Now, had Beyoncé not dressed up as Prince and Betty Davis for this previous Halloween, we could assume that it doesn't mean much of anything. But knowing that she has used the Halloween costume to tell us a little something, we can look at this costume. And what are the odds that the Proud Family has a set of twins just like Beyoncé does? And not just that they have a set of twins, but the names of the twins are BB and Cece. BB like Black Betty and Cece like Cowboy Carter. Coincidence? I think not. On top of that, I told you guys that I believe that June, which is Gemini season, would be significant and we could get something quite big this month. Now, at the beginning of the Cowboy Carter tour, most of us noticed that there was something quite significant missing. Something like two little dancers that have been with Beyoncé for a very long time now, the twins. What are the odds that the twins have come back to dance once Beyoncé has reached Gemini season? And I don't know why, but once I realized that Beyoncé brought the twins out at a specific point in this tour, something clicked for me. Something clicked all the way back to the Renaissance World Tour of another twin that we saw at the tour. A very significant twin. A twin that Beyoncé ended up incorporating into an interesting part of the set list. That twin being Tia Mowry. Now, why or how could Tia Mowry be significant? Well, recently on TikTok, I saw that the artist that created the song Boots on the Ground said that Parkwood reached out to him and personally invited him to the tour. Now, the reason why I'm putting that out is Tia was quite close to the stage, closer than most of the celebrities who went to the Renaissance tour was. On top of that, there were tons of celebrities that were at the Renaissance World Tour. For example, Kandi Burruss, who wrote Bills, Bills, Bills. But when Beyoncé saw Kandi, she didn't acknowledge her or sing Bills, Bills, Bills. But she specifically acknowledged Tia. And what I find the most interesting about her acknowledging Tia is when she acknowledged Tia. And it's the point in the tour where she's doing the covers of her song 1+1 with I'm Going Down. She ends up mixing in the song Yeah, Yeah, Yeah from Tia's group that she was in with her twin sister Tamera.
Little body. But it was off to the girls first.
Now, why would that be relevant and significant? Beyonce's girl group when she was little, Girls Time, sang that song, Yeah, 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 from Tia and Tamera's group. On top of that, Tamera sang the song I'm Going Down on the show Sister Sister, wearing this black dress that had roses on it. And we've seen a lot of this rose lore throughout the trilogy, specifically throughout the Cowboy Carter era.
I'm going down. I'm going down. 'Cause you ain't around, baby. I'm going down. I'm going down. You ain't around, baby.
So now we have the connection to the twins, Tia and Tamera. Tia being at the show, Tamera singing I'm Going Down, and Beyonce singing I'm Going Down, and Beyonce incorporating the song Yeah, Yeah, Yeah. Now there's something else that I found that also connects the twins Tia and Tamera into this Black Betty Cowboy Carter theory. And it comes from a movie that they did with the Disney Channel called Twitches. In this movie, Tia and Tamera play a pair of twins that were separated at birth. Now, what's significant about this movie and why I believe Beyonce may have specifically invited Tia to the tour, and she may have also invited Tamera to the Cowboy Carter tour and just hoped that they'd show up, is because in this movie, Tia and Tamera play a pair of twins named Apollo and Artemis. Now, the names come from Greek mythology, the twins Apollo and Artemis. Apollo and Artemis are two twins that represent the sun and the moon, just like Tia and Tamera's characters in the movie Twitches. Tia's character being Artemis, who represents the moon. We saw Tia at the Renaissance tour, which was all about the color silver. In Greek mythology, Artemis's color is silver, and she's the goddess of the moon and virginity. In her story, Artemis vows to remain a virgin.
Virgins with broken wings that will read.
On the opposite side, her brother Apollo is the god of the sun. He is all about light, music, and prophecy. So where you have Apollo, who is the sun and the light, you have Artemis, who is the moon and the dark.
Born in the darkness, who brings the light?
In addition to Artemis and Apollo being the light and the dark, or the sun and the moon, their mother Leto is considered the goddess of motherhood, also known as the protector.
Born to be a protector.
She's also known for turning herself into a wolf, and her daughter Artemis walks around with wolves. And on top of that, Artemis also becomes a protector of children, specifically young girls, and of animals.
Wolves and carnivores.
I also found it interesting that in her last Halloween costume, she did 3 different costumes, and in the second costume, she dressed up as 2 different people, 1 man and 1 woman. So it just keeps making me feel like it can't be a coincidence that there is this continuous nods to twins and the Gemini season. So I'm still going to be on the lookout throughout this June for that theory to really come to life. But tell me what you guys think in the comments, and stay tuned for episode 3, where I'm going to go to my first theory about Act 3.